The Undertaker has been the center of attention recently as we get closer to WrestleMania. Over the past few years, Undertaker's WrestleMania stories and matches have been very true to his character. We saw him play lots of mind games with Bray Wyatt a few years ago, and even played some mind games with John Cena. The Undertaker rarely even made live appearances during the build-up of those WrestleMania feuds, and the stories were just build-up on the whole mystique of The Undertaker. However, when it comes to the story with AJ Styles, this is a real unique story and build-up for an Undertaker match that we've never really seen before. It feels like The Undertaker is slowly coming out of his usual character in this feud. WWE had it made for them in the 90s and early 2000s, when there was no internet, no social media, or anything like that. So they were able to keep backstage information behind closed doors without it leaking out. Even the characters had a better feel to them because we never really saw them out of character since there was no social media back then. Nowadays, things have changed. Fans are aware of certain things and rumors leaking out, and superstars themselves will show their personal lives on social media outside of their WWE characters and personas. So that fourth wall in the WWE has been shattered for quite some time now, but it wasn't ever shattered for The Undertaker. Sure, we knew who The Undertaker was outside of the WWE, and everything he was doing outside of the company, but WWE never addressed any of that on television. The Undertaker was the mysterious character with no real background, no real backstory, and that's what helped get so many fans invested in him. But now that the fourth wall looks like it's finally coming down for The Undertaker, fans are having mixed reactions about it. It all started when AJ Styles called out The Undertaker on Raw by his real name, Mark Calloway. Another superstar calling Undertaker out by his real name in a promo like this is something we've never seen before in his 20-plus year career. So this was quite the big moment. AJ Styles didn't stop there. He went on to mention Taker's wife, Michelle McCool, and how she's running Undertaker into the ground. Once again, Taker and Michelle's relationship is no secret. Many fans are well aware of it, but it was never mentioned as part of a storyline. So that's the shock factor here. WWE legends were critical of this segment as well. Some said they didn't like that WWE called him by his real name on television, while others were a fan of the promo because they felt that it gave the feud a more personal feel. I'm on the fence with this one too. I like it because it's fresh and we've never seen The Undertaker get this personal with someone ever before. But I can also see how others are saying that it's taking away from the mystique of the legendary Undertaker character. So it seems that The Undertaker is also embracing this personal feud from an appearance and attitude level as well. Take a look at Raw, and for the first time in years, Undertaker came out with a whole new look and attitude. The long coat and hat was gone, and he just wore black pants and a beanie hat to the ring. He ran down the ramp, flipped the table, and just seemed like a whole new person compared to The Undertaker that we're used to seeing. Some are even comparing the look on Raw to the early 2000s when he was first transitioning into the biker gimmick. Renee Young even tweeted out that she was getting those sort of biker feels from The Undertaker, and even his wife, Michelle McCool, responded and said she approves of the biker idea. Here's where things get even more interesting. According to reports, this looks like it was WWE's initial direction for The Undertaker. Reports claim that Undertaker was rumored to come down the WrestleMania ramp in one of his classic bikes. Obviously, whether that was true or not, it won't be happening regardless since it's now in the Performance Center. But it's still great to see that they were even considering something like that. Everyone loves the classic Undertaker look and character, but the biker era of The Undertaker also has a lot of fans that would like to see some version of that persona come back one last time before his retirement. It's still unlikely that we'll get the biker Undertaker back, but there still could be a lot of changes coming up for The Undertaker. WWE is also about characters evolving, and have we finally made it to The Undertaker's time to evolve? Some will claim that The Undertaker is a timeless character, and that his persona could never get old. But just telling from that Raw appearance alone, It seems like WWE is starting to be more experimental with The Undertaker's character. Reports claim that it is more likely that we'll see a brand new Undertaker, maybe a perfect blend of his classic self and the biker persona. Just a cross of his two personas perfectly mixed together. So in the days leading up to WrestleMania and even after WrestleMania, we'll have to keep a close eye on The Undertaker's appearance and attitude to see if this change in character continues to take place. The Undertaker will always be one of the most interesting and just legendary characters. But the fact that he could be going through some sort of character change this late in his career is even more interesting, and we'll have to see how it plays out. Will Undertaker treat every feud from now on as personal as he did with AJ Styles? Or will he snap back to his usual self after this feud? There'll be a lot to keep an eye on when it comes to The Undertaker and his character. What are your thoughts on what's going on with The Undertaker right now? And if you had to pick, which version of The Undertaker do you want to see in these final years of his career? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any new videos, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.